Here is a busted up, beat up, messed up Lasko the 3733 box the fan that I got out of the trash. I'm going to use all the screws to fix another fan. I'm going to use the handle and switch to fix another fan, different fan. But I want to see if I can get this running again. It's very stiff and I suspect the thermal fuse has blown. So wow, the blade is really stuck on there. What the heck? Now, before this handle breaks, let me take that off of there. It was rusted on. This definitely got wet at some point, for sure. Yeah, that motor is stiff. Oh, what the heck happened to this thing? Come on, screwdriver. It's not the battery going dead, it's the switch doesn't make a good connection. I gotta fix that. Okay, it is the front that's locked up. Let's just see if we can free it up a little bit. We're not going to be able to take the shaft off with it this rusty if we can't spin it up. Let that soak in for a minute. So I bet our thermal fuse is going on here. The motor's not really all that dirty. I'm guessing that this either fell or something fell on it, because if you look at the guards, you can see the center gear is all like worn down as if it was contacting the blade. And you can see the same wear on the blade itself. You know, like it actually wore it down a fair bit, so there was a lot of force on there at some point. So something external, catastrophic happened to this fan that was not normal. And this definitely did not fail of natural causes. not going to spend too much time cleaning it before we know that we can get it to work. I'm almost completely certain that it's just a busted thermal fuse. For whatever it's worth, these things are pretty tough. They get a bad rap, you know, being a cheap product, but they're really quite tough. Alright, thermal fuse is under here. Let's see if we can get in there and take a look at what's going on. I'm not interested in fixing this properly. I just want this to use under the deck out in the yard. I should probably unplug it before doing that. I just want to use this outside under the deck. I could care less if it's thermally protected or not. So what we're going to do to bypass this is we're just going to kind of jumper these wires together like that. I'll have to get I might have to put a piece of shrink tubing over it. Get a new tie wrap and strap it down. And the smaller one. There we go. Okay, it probably works now. And no, this is not the correct way to fix it. I would not fix it this way if I was actually going to use it around the house or unattended. I would replace the thermal fuse, but again, this is going to be in a use case where it just doesn't matter. It's not going to be used in a flammable environment. It's going to be used under the deck. And no, this is not the correct way to fix this. The correct way to fix it would be to replace the thermal fuse, which I've shown on video many times. This is not something I'm going to be using around the house. It's just going to be used outside. So I just don't care about the thermal protection. I just want to confirm that it will run before we go any further. If it runs, then we'll clean this up a little better. We'll try to service the bearings and make those work a little better. And chances are we'll be able to get quite a bit of use out of this thing. It's still extremely stiff. I don't think it's actually going to start, but we'll be able to tell. It might start. We'll be able to tell at least if the repair was successful. Huh. It still isn't working. Oh, that's because I plugged in the wrong fan. Oh. Yeah, it's working. It works. So now what we'll do is we will sand down the shaft here. Try to get this to the point where we can take it apart. Alright, that's good enough. This is just a quick job, not working with a lot of care here. This is not normally how I function. Normally I'm very thorough and work slowly. I just want to make this work enough to the point where it can be used. And why bother? It's kind of fun and it keeps something from going in the trash. So the bearing actually got rust inside of the shaft got rust inside of there. And that's why it wasn't working. Look at that, just filth in there. Wow. That is one of the dirtiest fan bearings I've ever serviced. If I was going to be using this in the house, this would be getting a much more thorough cleaning, but I'm not. It's just going to be used in the yard. Throw a couple drops of oil in there. Wow, this is almost rusted solid. Throw some oil in here. I'm not going to use a whole lot of oil on this. It's not going to see a lot of use. Oh, even the thrust washer's all messed up from the force of whatever happened. It's all like, it's all bowed out. That's not normal. It's not supposed to be like that. It should be flat. Just gonna put it in backwards and hope that that kind of undoes the damage. It'll run. It doesn't really matter. How the heck did this go? I think it went like that. Who the heck are we calling this out? Oh, I didn't recognize the number.
Well, I'm in an area that doesn't have any cell service at all, so I have to use a landline.
Oh, you're probably better off anyways.
Yeah, better sound quality.
The bearings don't sound the greatest, but they're full of rust, and they might just not be the greatest. But they're spinning perfectly free, so they'll be fine. Well, it works just fine again. I don't know what the heck this one has been through, but it's still going. I want this switch for a different fan. So I'm just going to wire it to high, and it'll be a plug and unplug kind of deal. I never have good luck with taking the wires out of the switch and putting them back in. So I'm going to do this so that I can reliably use that on the other fan. And we know that this black wire is the common. I don't know which one is high versus low though. Try these two. Where's the other? It must be upstairs. It's not stripping properly. That's kind of weird. That's high. Alright, we just want to tie this stuff down so that it doesn't potentially enter the path of the blades. Just get some wire tie for that. Okay. Now I want the screws for something else. but I suppose I could just grab some random screws from something else to stick on there. Or we could just forgo it, because safety third. Maybe we should put one more wire tie at the bottom. Okay, great work fan to have in the yard for free.